Hello, Point Loma. I'm just gonna give it a few minutes here as we wait for a few people to join. I'll introduce myself. My name is Chelsey. I run the account Chelsey Explores. You can find me on TikTok, on Instagram. My blog is chelseexplores.com. I am out here in the beautiful Balboa Park in San Diego. If you have never been here, this is a place in kind of like the middle of downtown that is just absolutely insanely beautiful. The architecture here is just gorgeous. So I'm just going to be walking around kind of talking to you guys today. I posted in the stories earlier to see if you guys had any questions about Point Loma and my time at Point Loma. So if you also have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments here and we can talk about them. So a little bit of a background about me is I went to Point Loma way back when. It's been a long time now. I graduated in 2013 as a nursing student, and now I work in the ER at a hospital here in San Diego. I've been an ER nurse for almost 9 years. I worked in San Diego for about a year and a half, and then I moved to San Francisco for about 5 years, and now have been back working in San Diego for almost 2 years. So it's really exciting. So thank you all for joining. So let's see. First question up about San Diego. Can you suggest hotels nearby? You'll be there in August. So Shelter Island has a lot of hotels that are super close to Point Loma's campus that you can stay at. And it's a beautiful area. It's right on the water. So I'd highly recommend staying there. If you're looking for something a little further out from Point Loma, La Jolla has some gorgeous hotels with gorgeous views. There's a Torrey Pines hotel on Torrey Pines area with beach views and stunning views. So I'd highly recommend that area. Thank you everyone for joining. So let's get to a few of the questions that were asked in the chat when I posted yesterday that I would be talking with you all live on stories. So let's see. One of the questions I got was about Point Loma Nursing School and how many people are accepted. So again, I graduated almost 10 years ago. So it's probably a little bit different, but there were about 70 students, nursing students, that were accepted into the class when I was there. And I think by the end of it, we probably had around 60. Some people changed majors. So you do a year of prerequisites, which is, your chem classes, your bio classes, and they want you to get good grades, obviously, in those classes to be well prepared for nursing school, because a lot of nursing is based on, obviously, biology and chemistry. So those are two classes that I highly recommend taking very seriously in the first year, and then you're going to apply during that first year to nursing school, and you'll have an interview, you'll have to have good grades, and then hopefully get accepted. So like I said, when I was in nursing school, they took about 70 students into the class. Some tips that I would say on, getting into nursing school itself is really focus on getting those good grades in those core classes. They really take a look at that. In your interview, they want to see that you're empathetic with your patient. If you were to talk with patients, that you really have a heart for caring for others, and just that this is your passion, this is what you want to do. I kind of had a passion since I was in 8th grade, and I had back surgery myself, and it was at that point that I realized that I wanted to be a nurse. And I just saw how the nurses took care of me. I actually had surgery at Rady's Children's Hospital, and so I saw what they did for me, and I just knew that that's the career I wanted to do. As far as when you're in nursing school and how to find a job after nursing school, some things I did well in nursing school is I volunteered at hospitals, so that I kind of just got used to being around patients and talking to them, and just how to interact with even doctors at that point, and just all the staff at the hospital. So I volunteered. I actually worked with the nursing school as like a student nurse during my senior year. I led the sophomore students into part of their clinicals. I was a student clinical leader, so I really just highly recommend getting involved. Let's see. Rosemary says, my daughter will be a freshman. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Honestly, Point Loma is a beautiful campus and just a wonderful community. It's such a great place. I've made lifelong friends actually hanging out with my college roommates tonight. It's been amazing because a lot of them have stayed around and around the San Diego area, and we've all remained friends. So that's been awesome. What major will your daughter be, Rosemary? Will she be nursing? Let's see. I think we have another question. Okay. Here we go. Tips for getting through nursing school. Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so some of my tips are breaking it down by, like, when you are in nursing school, you're going to learn about all the different, like, organs and body and how it all works together. So just breaking it down by, like, cardiac, neuro. I made huge spreadsheets of just how everything interacts, and they'll teach you this in nursing school, but I kind of just tape them up on my wall and just would look at them continuously. Lots of studying, lots of talking with other nurses, and just not being afraid. Like, just take the leap. Like, it's going to be scary when you first take that first blood pressure of a patient, but just don't be afraid to be hands-on, because that's how you're going to learn in your clinicals, is learning by doing everything hands-on with your preceptor there or your like clinical instructor. Just don't be afraid to do hands-on. And then for me personally, I had to study a lot. So I put a lot of time into that, a lot of flashcards. Let's see, what other tips can I provide? Also, give your time to create a community, though. You know, this is kind of a tip outside of nursing school, but college is such a great time to create those lifelong friendships. And as hard as nursing school is going to be, you also need to have community that can support you and encourage you during those rough times. Don't get discouraged. You know, like, if you have a hard test, it'll get better. Like, things get better. So I definitely recommend creating a community around you who can support you, pray for you, encourage you as you are going through those 3 years of difficult nursing school. So let's see another question. Sorry, there's a plane going overhead right now. Let's see. What was the grossest thing you had to deal with in nursing school? That's a funny question. Let's see, grossest thing I had to deal with in nursing school. Personally, I don't like the smell of vomit. I still can't handle it. Even being a ER nurse, I've gotten better. But yeah, I definitely had a patient vomit all over me, just kind of spewed out, and I would have to say that was one of the grossest things I have ever experienced. You just feel nasty. And also bed bugs. Bed bugs aren't fun. That is a gross thing to deal with. Okay, so when applying to Point Loma, do you get straight into the nursing aspect if that's your plan? That's a great question. So for nursing school, usually you kind of have to declare that major before even coming into the school. So when I was a senior in high school, and got accepted to Point Loma, I had to declare nursing as my major prior to arriving. And because there's certain prerequisite classes that you have to take in order to get into nursing school itself your sophomore year. So you in a way, you do kind of have to know ahead of time that that's what you want to do, so that you can take those classes, and then in the middle of your freshman year is when you'll apply to nursing school and have your interview, and then hopefully get accepted. As always, you can always change your major even if you're in nursing school and you don't like it, or if you're in a different major and you want to switch to nursing, but that'll probably add on, if you want to switch into nursing, that will probably add on an extra year of schooling for you, just because the course is so strict with just what needs to be done by each semester, if that makes sense. How many students are accepted into the program? Great question. So when I was in the program, I believe 70 students is what got accepted, and I'm not sure if that's still how it is. I would assume so. It's probably around that same number, give or take a few. Okay, someone asked, what is it living like on campus? I highly recommend living on campus. I lived on campus all 4 years of my time at Point Loma, and it was just the best. I loved living there because I got to have the community I wanted. I could go to the cafeteria as often as I wanted because I had the meal plan and I didn't have to cook for myself, which is amazing. And let's see what else. I lived in the dormitories my first 2 years, and that just made life so much fun. They create so many fun activities for you and so much fun like gatherings with other dorms, and it really just creates this sense of togetherness. You're all going through difficult times and fun times together. So I highly recommend living on campus. I highly recommend joining intramural sports. I joined intramural soccer. That was another great way to make friends as well as get some exercise. So yeah, life on campus is a blast. I can't recommend staying on campus enough. Let's see. Would you recommend applying early? If that means like applying early to go to Point Loma, I would say the sooner the better. I did personally put an early application in, and that, I don't know if that helped or not, but I would say I got my interview in, which was great, and I knew that I was going to be going to college at Point Loma before some of my friends knew where they were going to college, because I did do early applications. Let's see. Does anyone have any San Diego specific questions that I can answer for you? Some fun things to do, I would say, around San Diego is one, at Balboa Park. I hope you guys can all hear me right now. It's kind of loud. I'm actually very surprised how busy it is here for a Monday afternoon. There's kids playing. There's so many options of what to do in Balboa Park. Walk around. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background, but there's concerts here. There's grass areas to picnic on. There's so much sightseeing. In the winter, they do such a fun festival for Christmas. Balboa Park's amazing. Some other things is Sunset Cliffs is a beautiful spot to watch sunset, which is right on Point Loma. If you don't live here, it is right along the Point Loma campus is on Sunset Cliffs, which is amazing. I would go there for runs, go there to watch sunsets, go there to surf. It's just a beautiful location. Go there for picnics. So highly recommend going there. Oh, we have another question. What's the weather like typically? Okay, so San Diego specifically, typically the weather is between 65 and 75. That's your classic San Diego weather. However, I will say Point Loma is in a bit of a bubble, in a sense, a weather sense. I would say most mornings were foggy or cold. I would always have to bring a jacket with me because they're up on this hill close to the water, so they get that sea fog in. You get that beautiful smell of the ocean and the salt and just that freshness. You can hear the waves crashing. So I would say Point Loma is usually cold. If you're on campus in the morning, it's definitely cold. But then the ocean fog kind of rolls off by the afternoon, and then it's beautiful, and having lunch out on the cafeteria balcony is just gorgeous. I want to transfer to Point Loma next year, and my major will be nursing. That is awesome. Mad is. So I don't know if it's Maddie, but definitely highly recommend it. So you can totally transfer into nursing school. it's a little different. There's certain prerequisites, as I was saying, that you need to have in order to get to the nursing school. So depending if you did those at your previous school and if Point Loma accepts them, then you could probably directly to apply to the nursing school itself. As far as like my nursing class, we had quite a few transfers actually into the nursing program. I think we had about 5, so it's definitely something that can be done. I would say as far as difficult, I don't know because I didn't do it myself, but it's definitely doable to be able to transfer in. You just have to, I would say, get in contact with the School of Nursing at Point Loma, know exactly what they need. It's very specific. Make sure you get all those credits, but it's definitely doable, and I highly recommend it. Point Loma is one of the best nursing programs out there. Is it hard to get into Point Loma if you aren't Nazarene? I would say no, personally. You do get to choose to do an interview on when you apply. They do ask, I think, on your application if you are religious or have a religion. They don't discriminate. I don't think you particularly need to be Nazarene, is my assumption or my understanding. I'm Christian myself, but it's a great place for community, regardless of what religion you are. If you don't play sports, what other exercise active options are there to stay fit? That's a great question. Okay. Well, walking is just always good. My goal, personally, a goal of mine, most of the time is to get at least 10,000 steps a day. That can just help you remain active and keep your heart healthy. And so you don't have to play sports, or you can. Honestly, at Point Loma, they have intramurals for all levels. Everyone is super welcoming. So even if you don't play sports or never have, you can try out. Or not, there's no tryouts, but you can just try out playing a sport that you've always wanted to try. I recommend walking on Sunset Cliffs. That's a way to stay active. Cardio is the best way to stay active and keep your heart healthy. So you don't have to play sports, but you can there's exercise machines at the gym at Point Loma that you can do to keep your heart healthy and keep yourself active. You can go for runs around Point Loma's campus. It's beautiful. San Diego is beautiful for runs. I've driven over to Balboa Park myself and ran here. So tons of other options. You can go kayaking, surfing. Those are different kind of sports, but also sports to keep you active. Let's see. I want to transfer to Point Loma next fall. It's my top school. Kelly, highly recommend. Definitely do it. It is a beautiful campus. 1 year in San Diego. The campus is gorgeous. I had an ocean view. Never will have that again. I had an ocean view for 4 years because I lived on campus. That's another reason to live on campus. I mean, you'll never be that close to the ocean again. It's right on the water. I literally fell asleep to the ocean wave sound crashing, and it was so calming and peaceful, and I woke up to it. Let's see. I plan to tour and ask questions sometimes this week. That is wonderful. Honestly, that's the best way to do things. Tour college campuses. Ask all the questions. Write down your questions that you might have. Don't be afraid to ask them. People that show college campuses and tours, that's what they're there for. That's what they love doing. So ask all the questions, and they're going to have more detailed, specific information because they work there. Where is the classroom near the dorm? I'm not quite sure what that is asking. There's classrooms all over campus. The dorms are closer to the ocean, and then the classrooms are further up on the hill. Everything is within walking distance. I did have a bike, but a bike is not necessary for campus, especially because the campus is a bit hilly. Now some of the nursing classes are actually off campus. They do, so you don't have to have a car, but you can ride with other nursing students. And I think they offer a shuttle or something to get you to the classes off campus for nursing, because they have it off campus because they have this huge area with a lab that you can, practice working with fake patients, huge rooms for the nursing students to learn from. And it's actually a really cool space. We transferred over there my senior year of nursing school, and it was wonderful. were you able to have a part-time job during any 4 years as a nursing student? That is a wonderful question. Yes. So I had a part-time job. I worked in like the activity center. I believe it was my sophomore and junior year. I worked at the desk for a few hours, and that was the area that they had the ping pong table, and let's see, what else did they have there? The pool tables. Just it was a cool hangout spot, and it was also the area that you can sign up to do fun trips, like go rock climbing or on a kayaking trip like I did. And I just love the outdoors, so that was like the perfect spot for me to work in, because I could geek out with people and talk about the outdoors. So I was able to do that. It was only a few hours a week. And then I also worked, I think my junior and senior year it was, I did something that would look a little bit better on my resume for like applying to be a nurse. So I worked with an elderly woman twice a week. I went over there and I just hung out with her, took her on a walk, made her some food for the week, and just got to know her, took her blood pressure, gave her medicines. So I did that, and then my senior year I worked for the nursing department, leading sophomore students and helping out with their clinicals as part of my job. And honestly, that was one of the best jobs as far as like just getting really comfortable talking about what I had learned in nursing school and teaching others. I love to, like, when I learn by teaching others as well, so that makes me more confident in what I know. So yes, all that to say is a part-time job is definitely possible. Time blocking is super important. You can totally do nursing school, have friends, hang out on the weekends, and have a job. Let's see. Hi, can you tell us about your high school grades and your extracurricular activities you participated in? I'm very nervous about the acceptance rate into the nursing program. Understandable to be nervous. Everyone is nervous. I was nervous. So that is a very understandable feeling. High school grades. I would say I had good grades in high school. Mostly A's and B's. I did take some AP classes. However, I did not pass my AP test. So that didn't matter. It didn't even get me out of any of the classes anyways for my prerequisites. So I did have good grades. As far as extracurricular activities in high school, I didn't do anything in particular to nursing or the healthcare or medical field, but I made sure that I was seen as a leader at my high school. I worked on like the ASB committee, so I helped run prom and homecoming and helped plan high school events. And I was also the captain of my soccer team, so I made sure that I was doing extracurricular activities, the things that I loved, and making sure to be a leader. So yeah, I think have fun in high school. Junior and senior year, definitely also still focus on your grades because those will matter getting into Point Loma. I also volunteered at my church during high school, so also being seen as a leader and being around others I think was important. Can you please explain what the work study process is? Like, how do I apply for a job around campus? So when I lived on campus, they had like a job portal that you could apply. It was from anything from like the jobs I did to cleaning to like being a campus tour guide. So they have a job portal that lists all the jobs that you can definitely apply for and reach out to. So they actually do a really good job about showing you which jobs you can apply for. And I highly recommend applying for jobs on campus because it just creates more community, which is what I've been coming back to. Okay, let's see. How was your first pre-nursing year as far as applying for the actual nursing program in the spring? Let me read that again. How was your first pre-nursing year as far as applying to... Okay. Actually, personally, my first year of like my prerequisites before nursing school started, so my freshman year was very difficult personally. So I hope this is like an inspiring story to you guys. We're getting real deep here. I went through a recent breakup with my high school boyfriend that I had been dating for a long time. So emotionally, I was really hurt. I personally didn't do well in my biology class at Point Loma. I think because I was emotionally struggling, and I didn't pass with a high enough grade to get into nursing school. So I actually had to take it again. So that was difficult, but I hope that's like inspiring and helps you like know that even if times are difficult, like you will get through those times, and if nursing is your passion, you will make it work. And were you able to participate in clubs, social events, fun activities as a nursing student? Yes. So that's always a good question. So there's not really any nursing students who are on any actual like sports teams at Point Loma. There's just not time for that. Like I really wanted to be on the soccer team. That was a goal of mine, is to play soccer in college. But it's just not possible to be on an actual team that has that much time commitment. However, that's why I chose to play intramurals, because I could be flexible. I was able to, again, play intramurals. I was able to participate in all the dormitory activities. So yes, I was able to do all the fun activities. And honestly, I think that's so important for your mental health, is to incorporate those fun activities into your schedule, because otherwise you'll go crazy and nursing school will run your life. So you have to incorporate that. Like time blocking is so important. Schedule it out. I know it sounds weird to schedule in fun activities or outdoor things, but it's so important. Did you graduate in 4 or 5 years? I graduated in 4 years. So first year, freshman year with prerequisites. And like I said, I had to retake the biology class. I took it somewhere else. And then 3 years of nursing school. So 4 years total. Does anyone have any San Diego specific questions? Let me see if there's any other questions. Someone asked from the stories, are there any Baptist churches near PLNU? And I didn't know that answer off the top of my head, so I did Google it. The closest one, I believe, is near like Mission Valley and Linda Vista area. But there are Baptist churches around, but you would most likely need a car to be able to get to them. Okay, let's see. Regarding dorm, are all nursing students at the same dorm? No. Nope. The nursing students are split up. There's a lot of dorms on campus, and so my roommate was not a nursing student, and then my freshman year, and then my sophomore year through senior year. Well, my sophomore year, my roommate was not a nursing student, and then my junior and senior year, I went to the apartments on campus, and we had, there was 5 of us, and only 2 of us were nursing students. So nope, they're all over campus, which I think is great, because you need to find people outside of the nursing program as well. You're going to have a tight-knit community with the nursing school, but you also need to find some space to release outside of the nursing program, because it is going to be stressful. That nursing school is stressful, and you need to find friends also outside of nursing school, I would say. But I mean, you're also going to find great friends in nursing school as well. So I'm just going to kind of walk around Point Loma, and then around Balboa, and we'll wrap up this live. If anyone has any other questions, you can ask them down here in the comment box. But it was so great to talk to you guys. You can follow me again at Chelsey Explores. I post a lot of outdoor San Diego activities that you can do. So if you're here just visiting Point Loma, check out my blog or my Instagram for what you can do while visiting Point Loma. If you go to Point Loma for college, check out some fun things you can do on the weekends or weeknights with friends. I'm all about the outdoors and experiencing this beautiful world that God has provided for us. So yeah, I'll give this a few more minutes, but I think people are kind of hopping off, and we'll wrap this up. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll kind of turn the camera around, and you guys can see a little bit of Balboa Park, and then we'll say goodbye. So let's turn the camera around. So we're in Balboa Park. This is kind of the main strip here. It's beautiful. So lots of palm trees everywhere, beautiful colors, lots of food vendors. This place is popping on the weekends. But on that note, I'm gonna head off and say goodbye and say thank you all for joining the live. Again, feel free to reach out to me or Point Loma personally and ask them any questions you may have, but I'm happy to answer anything for you. And I'm gonna say goodbye. Again, you can find me at Chelsey Explores, and I'll talk to you guys later.